Hello everyone and welcome to the Rural Immersion Institute of the North Student Presentation Showcase. I am Gloria Burnett, the Director of Alaska's Area Health Education Center program, and we're here today to celebrate our pilot launch of RIIN, the Rural Immersion Institute of the North. We have 14 students from across the country, 2 from here in Alaska, the other 12 from across the nation, the lower 48, all interested in rural health. And this program has been developed as a collaborative partnership with our partners across the entire state of Alaska. To start, I'd just like to say thank you so much to everyone who has contributed, especially to the AHEC staff. You guys have really helped pull this together. And I would like to thank the students for being so flexible and understanding, being what we call the guinea pigs this year. You've really helped us more than you know in molding this program for the future. And now I wanted to take the time to share the experiences of this program with all of the people throughout the state that have helped see it through to fruition.
Hi, my name's Veronica. I'm here from Anchorage, but I got the opportunity through this program to go all the way north to Barrow, and that was drastically different than I expected. I want to become a dentist, and I am going into my senior year at undergraduate.
I am Alexis Sarver. I'm actually from Carbondale, Illinois. I heard about this program through my school, which my school didn't know a whole lot about it, so I did some research and was extremely interested in it. I am interested in doing emergency medicine, and I picked this due to my dad being a paramedic for years, and it just felt like home. So the rural healthcare has been an extremely awesome thing to see while we were here.
Hello, I'm Jamie Spencer. I'm from a small town from Whiteville, Tennessee, and this is my senior year at University of Tennessee at Martin and my entry in pharmacy. What caused me to come to the program because while growing up, my mom kept on saying that I want to go to Alaska, I want to go to Alaska. And then when I saw this link saying that this program said it's going to be in Alaska and it had to deal with pharmacy and all the medical, I was like, this is the opportunity for me to go.
I'm Heather Dirkbott. I'm from Denver, Colorado. I was really interested in coming to this program because my desire is to work in rural medicine, so this absolutely reinforced this. I was lucky enough to go to Petersburg, and what a wonderful place. It has given back to me any more than what I expected to, so I was very thankful for this experience.
Petersburg, also known as Little Norway, is a beautiful town on Mitkof Island in southeast Alaska. This is a place where you feel safe leaving your door unlocked. The nurse can be your pharmacist, and your lab technician knows how to save your life. It's a community based on trust. The physician, physical therapist, nursing staff, and hospital administration are all a cohesive unit. They trust each other to successfully do their job with the patient's well-being in mind. Rural only limits the procedure the hospital can perform, but they exceed the level of care. All physicians are the ears and eyes of the hospital, with multiple overlapping roles. If you want to learn about confidence and trust, you will find it here in Petersburg.
Visiting Barrow has been an eye-opening experience. Things are drastically different, ranging from the everyday interactions to the housing. The houses are built on stilts so that permafrost doesn't come through the floors. The most noticeable thing about Barrow is the people. In Barrow, everyone knows each other, resulting in a friendly environment and teamwork in the workplace. In the dental clinic, I witnessed teamwork on even the littlest tasks, resulting in efficient completion and a friendly work environment. Another thing I experienced in Barrow was the culture. I had the amazing opportunity to build an antikvuk, and I got to try muktuk.
Pickled muktuk.
One pitfall about Barrow is the cost of living. Fruit and vegetables are extremely expensive. I found that watermelon costs $28. It was amazing how easily everyone worked together, allowing for better patient care.
Better Alaska. The population of 3,500 and the center of the YKHC that is in charge of 50 villages for their health care. My experience while staying in Bethel for a week was life-challenging for me. Being far away from home, it has made me more independent and respectful to the community. I have learned a lot of things that you must do in order to survive in the rural sites. They are to bond a friendship, trust, and most important, respectful in your surroundings. While job shadowing on the different medical staff, I know that there is a respectful connection between the medical staff and the customer owner. When you have a respectful towards one another, you have a good connection between one another. When you have disrespect, there could be a lot of misunderstanding and argument of who's right and who's wrong. Therefore, respect is the key in Bethel, Alaska.
Communication, a single action that can bring people together, but it is also an action that is hard to master. Due to integrated healthcare becoming more dominant, communication is essential. During my time in Sunshine Community Health Center in Talkeetna, I was exposed to all different types. Communication between patients and providers with one another. A kink in this chain can cause frustration for all parties involved, but Sunshine Clinic was able to handle each challenge with ease. The clinical staff can be found in one central room in the heart of the clinic, allowing them to openly collaborate on a given patient. This collaboration enables the staff to treat the patient's mind and body together. The clinicians have been trained to detect when a patient may be experiencing emotional or mental distress during their visit, even if they are silent. Communication is not just about what the ears hear and the mouth speaks, but also what the eyes observe. A wise man once told me, if you listen, the patient will tell you what is wrong.
Hi, I'm Linnea Kelly, and I'm from Valdez, Alaska. And I'm currently a rising sophomore. I'm the baby of the group in neuroscience at RIIN College. And I'm planning on going into either psychiatry or internal medicine after my undergraduate. And I was actually, they sent both Alaskans to Barrow. So I went from Valdez, Alaska, which is south central, up to the northernmost part of the state. And I can say they are worlds away from each other. It was very, very new experience. It was really amazing for me to be back in my home state, but see such a different side of it. I've experienced the patient side of rural healthcare my entire life, but being on the provider side was a really unique experience that I'm really grateful for.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I recently graduated from University of Washington, and I studied biochemistry, and I'm currently applying to medical schools. I went to Petersburg, Alaska, and it was a great experience for me to be able to see and meet the people in rural areas. It definitely reinforces my interests.
Hi, I'm Andrew Zamet from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a rising senior at Mercer University studying biology. I went to Ketchikan, Alaska, beautiful, beautiful coastal city. This program has provided me with a different aspect of medicine that I'm not used to in Atlanta. We got to see kind of the remote side of healthcare, and I'm just so grateful to be here.
Stepping off the plane into Barrow, Alaska, I was hit full in the face by snow blowing sideways. I knew it was going to be cold, but in the middle of June, I wasn't expecting it to be that cold. The landscape reminded me of a post-apocalyptic film. If the outside seemed completely inhospitable, the inside was the opposite. We were greeted by a wall of heat and dozens of middle school kids running around the college. In Barrow, it seems that people need an extra dose of internal warmth to compensate for the harsh environment. Having grown up in Valdez, I was familiar with the crises of obesity, alcoholism, drug use, and depression throughout the state, but communities like Barrow feel these challenges the most. Without access to fresh produce and with the high price of groceries, the most accessible nutrition is junk food. Even in Barrow's public health facilities and hospital, the staff are often as overweight as those they treat. Barrow makes it clear that you can't separate healthcare problems from the larger problems of a community. Interprofessional practice in Alaska isn't a choice, it's unavoidable. We didn't meet a single person who our guide, Daniel, wasn't on first-name terms with. If there's one thing that unites the citizens of Barrow more than anything else, it's whaling. The community of Barrow is still strongly rooted in the cultural and practical uses of bowhead whales. From making the skin boats to bringing in the whale to preparing muktuk, whaling brings the community closer together. Despite numerous challenges, Barrow finds ways to remain close-knit and keep Inupiat culture alive.
I was welcomed by the warm smiles of the people and breezes from the ocean in Petersburg, Alaska, located on Mitkoff Island. Soon afterward, I realized the importance of the fishing industry in molding the culture of the people. With limited resources, personnel take great responsibility to be self-sufficient and creative in thinking, oftentimes needing to assume multiple roles. Preventive care is a huge focus to minimize the need for higher levels of care, a sense of community collaboration, teamwork. It can be a great challenge to maintain privacy and to keep people safe when dealing with domestic abuse in a community where everybody knows everybody. Through observing professionals at the medical center and visiting Wave Clinic, working against violence for everyone, something resonated with me. I see the great value in really knowing who the patients are and providing individualized care and to create an environment for patients to feel comfortable and safe to seek help and share their issues. The charm of Petersburg sparkles through the interwoven qualities of a small community where I saw healthcare team members truly care beyond the management of diseases, to treat a whole person's well-being. Through the doctor's words and actions, the importance of educating patients, providing emotional support, and the responsibility of the patients for their own health was depicted. As a future physician, I aspire to possess the same qualities. In Petersburg, the one and only medical center truly keeps the pulse of the community.
As I hopped off the plane and onto the ferry, the sunny weather of Ketchikan complemented the natural beauty of this coastal city. A feeling of fellowship came over me as I traveled through the island and saw the integration of historic Tlingit poles with modern-day buildings. For an island in the southeast reach of Alaska, Ketchikan provides many healthcare resources to its community. One of the strengths of Ketchikan is the implementation of community members in different task forces that work to remove stigmas and educate the community on provided resources. The practice of healthcare strongly benefits from these interwoven relationships of Ketchikan. These individuals were not just members of one group, but multiple groups working to make a difference. One of these examples is the Ketchikan Public Health Center, partnering with local schools to help bring vaccinations to children who might not otherwise get them. With such natural beauty, it was easy to bypass the challenges of the community. One of these challenges is the battle with behavioral health and homelessness. I had the privilege of providing meals to some of these victims. For me, it was a way to help, but for the people we fed, it held more meaning. Although the community struggles with behavioral health, innovative techniques are being applied to address these problems. I have learned the effectiveness of a collaborative community working towards changes in local healthcare.
If there's one thing we found here in Alaska, it's that community is everything. Community is both the cause and solution of widespread healthcare issues, especially in rural areas. We discovered this in our rural locations, but also in our own little community. We not only gave each other sore throats and fevers and bothered the hell out of each other at times, we also cared for each other, covered for each other, and learned from and with each other.
Hi, my name is Devin Davis, and I am from Okmulgee, Oklahoma, and I am an upcoming senior at Oklahoma State University studying microbiology and nutrition, and I hope to take that education with me to medical school where I want to become a family practitioner, specifically in rural sites, which is why getting the invitation to apply to the Rural Immersion Institute of the North was what brought me to this program, and it has been an amazing experience.
Excuse me. Hi, my name is Cooper Manley. I am a rising senior at Rhodes College studying biochemistry and molecular biology from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I really was just attracted to the adventure of Alaska, honestly. I was looking for something to do. I wanted experience, and it fit everything. I got to leave Tennessee. That was great. I love it there, but definitely great. So I went to Soldotna for my rural week, and it was a pretty big hospital, so my experience was a little unique, or not unique. It was It was a little more kind of what I was used to, but I definitely grew a little bit as a person just sitting there and thinking about it.
My name's Rachel Lancaster. I'm from North Carolina. I'm a student in animal science at the University of NC State. I came to Alaska because I was hoping to find more meaning in dentistry, hopefully in rural medicine.
I've worked in rural medicine before, so when I came to Alaska, I thought it'd be similar to what I experienced in Oklahoma. However, when I stepped off that plane into Fort Yukon, I was greeted by a village with only 600 people in it. I graduated with 450, so the size comparison was crazy to think about. There was only one grocery store which served as the hangout spot for people who were finished with their gardens, beading, or fishing. With the only way in or out of Fort Yukon being either by airplane or boat, the limitations placed on the clinical staff were nothing like I had experienced in Oklahoma. The doctor I shadowed would never have had to do her own lab work or insert an IV in an urban setting. But with limited staff and resources, one learns how to be self-sufficient and confident in their own abilities, whether that be through keeping a patient stable until LifeMed gets to the airport, or whether that be through tying your own net for fishing season. And most importantly, being a community with laughter and trust ultimately served as the tool for treating not just rural Alaskans, but all people involved, which is what I hope to take back with me and use when I become a physician.
I didn't bring any expectations. Heck, I was just there for the ride. I knew I was supposed to go to a hospital, just like I would for any shadowing, in some city called Soldotna, and really, when I got there, it felt like any hospital. I shadowed in an ED. Waiting was insane. All the patients would come in bursts. One day, I sat around waiting for 2 hours. Then suddenly, 10 patients came in with a plethora of problems. And each one was treated and treated, just like home. Frankly, I felt a little ripped off. It was pretty similar to back home. I still enjoyed every second of it, but it wasn't super different. Don't get me wrong, I loved coming to Alaska. I'm a far away from home and I've seen some amazing things. But really, I could have gotten that hospital experience back in Tennessee. Being in a clinic was interesting, but despite the slightly more personal relationship between the provider and the patient, it was again all too familiar. But as I was sitting there, waiting, yet again, I reflected on the fact that people were still people despite the setting, and that everyone deserves the highest quality of care possible. Really, that's what I took out of this experience. A patient is a patient, despite being in Tennessee or Alaska.
When I arrived in Bethel, I brought a slew of misconceptions regarding healthcare in Bush, Alaska. I underestimated the statistics. The percentage of community members consumed with alcoholism, led to suicide, or betrayed by domestic and sexual violence seemed impossibly high. But it was true. I could find plaster patients in most clinics and all through town. And it was paralyzing to realize that hidden in houses, the statistics on suicide and sexual violence were also true and sadly incurable. Honestly, these truths got annoying. It's depressing, and it started hitting too close to home. But what I take away from Bethel is that somebody has to buck up and fix it. These clinics work their tails off and sacrifice the chance at a cushy alternative job in the suburbs of the lower 48 to make a difference. And they do. The preventative efforts of Bethel's healthcare system are the keystone in improving quality of life and lowering these unacceptably high statistics. But there's still plenty of work that needs to be done.
Hi everyone, my name is Amber Vandiar. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I just graduated from SUNY Binghamton with an English major. I am pursuing physical therapy, and I was selected to go to Ketchikan, and one thing that I learned is that community is everything, and I'm so grateful to be a part of a community that works so hard to take care of its people. So it was great to see that side that I would never get to see in New York City.
My name is Matthew Barnes. I'm a rising senior at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, studying healthcare management. I chose to come to Alaska to experience how administrators work in these hospitals because it's totally different than how it is back home. I had to go to Cordova, and it was one of the best experiences I ever had. The most beautiful place I've ever been, and something I'll never forget.
My name is Emma. I'm from New Hampshire. And I am a rising junior at Swarthmore College in Pennsylvania. I got the chance to go to Soldotna with this program. I'll say I wasn't 100% sold on rural healthcare when I arrived here, but after the experiences I've had in Soldotna, Homer, and a small clinic in Soldovia, I have absolutely fallen in love with Alaska and rural healthcare, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
Hi, my name is Margaret Eliason. I'm from Kansas City. I am a rising super senior in my last year of nursing school. My rural site was Fort Yukon, and it was very, very, very rural. And even though I didn't get to do all the really fun excursion things, I learned so much about rural health care. It's incredible. So I really learned about the health care, and that was what I came for. So that's great.
During my first day shadowing in Soldotna, a neurologist told me something that really stuck with me. She said that she enjoyed working with Alaskans because of their perspective on life. In the lower 48, a family will fight vigorously to keep a 90-year-old grandmother on life support. In this doctor's experience, Alaskans are more comfortable dealing with death and are much more capable of pulling the plug and saying goodbye to their loved one, despite the pain that it causes them. Alaskans in general are more concerned with the quality of their life rather than its length. As technology advances and Alaska's healthcare system becomes continuously more modern, it's sad to see the old relationships between medical providers and their patients die out. Today's doctors are burdened more than ever with paperwork and insurance problems along with their medical work, and many grieve for a time when their only real priority was their patients' health. Still, these changes give a unique opportunity to other healthcare providers. Nurses, PAs, and health aides are able to step up and use their skills in more challenging, creative ways.
Flying over Cordova, you'll see the industry that keeps the city alive. Landing, you'll see the people that keep the industry alive. The fishermen, the cannery workers. What keeps them alive when there's an accident? Who takes care of the city's health? Travelers. Travelers that don't know the patient. Travelers who only work for 3 months then leave before the winter. The community health center that's ran by the native village of Eyak, which is now almost a completely dead culture. Will the travelers fade out? Will a local step up? Will politics get in their way? Walk through the town of Cordova and you'll fall in love. Kayak Sheridan Glacier Lake and you will never want to leave. Hike up Ski Hill and look over the Prince William Sound and you will see the beauty. Travelers will become locals and one day know their patients. Teamwork will be a daily activity. This is when healthcare will be great. This is when Cordova will be whole.
Walking around the Yukon Flats Health Center, you see the teamwork amongst natives and non-natives alike. There is a sense of community. Those that are there for each other and can depend on one another. They are a team, working together to care for the child with the broken foot, the man with the cyst, the elder with the shortness of breath. Health aides are called in as recruits in times of need, painting a picture of perfection in a world of chaos. Smaller villages are isolated, waiting, waiting, waiting. LifeMed finally arrives with little time left to spare. The customer owner boards the plane and off they go, toward Fairbanks with nothing but high hopes for recovery. Luckily, the community had enough time to pack a bag for their loved one. But was there enough time to relay information? Information that could prevent the worsening of conditions? We don't know. We just stand together, holding each other up as we continue with the day.
Shades of violet erupt the sky and elicit the sun's 10 p.m. departure. The morning awaits the influx of cruise ships, shops, and summer jobs placed perfectly along the harbor. Tourists fill the streets with economic success, grins on high with their eyes open wide, making sure their portable cameras don't miss the eagle, the bird, and or the bear at low tide. But as evening falls and souvenirs are resupplied, No tourist will ever venture out of the stage that was perfectly and personally designed. Outside confinement, one will find anxiety lingering in the waiting room of the hospital and the clinic. One will find effort without efficiency, employees with no reliability, and communication imprisoned in silence. Flexibility is essential, for the travelers continue to travel, while patients, mothers, children, elders adapt, yet are in a continuous battle. But no tourist will purposely get lost to find the sockeye salmon or the chum, the salmon berries, wild blueberries, or succumb to the oil of the hooligans or the blandness of herring. Beg to be embraced by the serenity of the woods, soak into the sunset and settle in the Pacific. Capture the earth in its most purest of forms. Nature is nurturing, but a community is built on strengthening. Genuine is the smile on the nurse after her 17th patient. Trust is displaying confidence behind your gynecologist at Safeway. Do not tour like a tourist, but tour like a native. Immerse yourself in nature, community, and culture. Crave simplicity by solely experiencing the beauty of your own existence.
Thank you all.
They're just walking around.
Somebody else's